Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to part 3 of PP01, our last PowerPoint exercise of the semester. And where I finished off was making my 3 list levels here, the what I learned part, the bullet items, which are green bullets, and then also some details that go under the last bullet, which show how to create styles. So the last thing is how to create styles, and then it has some numbered instructions actually on how to do that. So again, other than doing PowerPoint, this is also a little review of some things you've done over the semester. So hopefully you can customize this a little bit and throw in some things you learned, whatever that may be. Now, after you do one slide like this, the other slides will be pretty much like it. So this is where you can go in to this particular slide, and you can actually right-click on this and just do duplicate slide. So I'll right-click on here and just choose duplicate slide. And here's my new slide. It's exactly the same, and I'll change this to be Excel. And I'll change this part to be Excel. And obviously I'm going to change my copy here, and I'm not going to make you watch me type that, so I'm going to pause it and I'm going to type that really quickly. Okay, I just typed my information in Excel, format cells, create formulas, create charts, and then here's some things about a chart, select category and value column, insert tab, insert a column chart, and here's an example where I have this line kind of, it's breaking over here and then it's putting one line here. So if I wanted to break it differently, I could just go here and do a shift return, which is a line break, and that way it won't make a new number. If I just hit return, a new number would be created. Okay, now my third slide, or my fourth slide, is going to be the PowerPoint, so I'm just going to right click and duplicate again, and this new one will be PowerPoint, and it's a capital P the second time in PowerPoint, and also right here this will be PowerPoint. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is update this text. So I'm going to pause, update the text, and we don't have to have a numbered list for this one. So I'm going to pause this. Okay, here's my PowerPoint slide. Now they all kind of look the same. One thing that might be a little nicer is to add some graphics in here. And I'm going to launch Firefox or whatever browser you want to use, and I'm going to do a little Google search for some, I'm just going to use the software icons. So let me do that right now. Okay, I'm searching for word icon. And I'm going to go to images in Google, and I'll find tons of word icons. The one I liked was this one here. This is actually from Mac, but I'm going to use this one here, and I'm just going to click on it. Alright, I'm going to copy this logo, or this icon. I'm going to right click, copy image. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint presentation, and I'm just going to do a Control V, and there it is. And you could, this happens to be a transparent PNG file, which actually overlaps other parts of this. Otherwise it'll have a white box around it if it's a JPEG. But I'll just set it here right now, and then I'll go to my next slide, and I'll go back to Firefox or wherever you're using, and I'm just going to search for an Excel icon. And you could use anything here. You don't even have to use icons. You could use, you know, some kind of spreadsheet icon, but I'll try out this one here. I'll right click, copy. I'll go back to my PowerPoint presentation. I'll do a Control V, and there it is. You can see it's kind of big. If you need to resize an image, just grab on the corner and just drag in a 45-degree angle. You can hold shift when you do it too. That'll lock it in proportion, but if you just drag in a 45, you should be fine. And then just grab in the middle and move it over. So there's my Excel icon. And I'm going to do the same for my PowerPoint. Okay, and I'm going to Control V, and there it is. It's going up top, but I'll bring it down here. Now I'm going to put in one more slide here, which is kind of that thank you slide. And what I could do is I could select my title slide and just duplicate it. So you can right-click, duplicate, and notice it puts it right underneath. Over here in your thumbnails, it puts it right underneath. So I'm going to move that down, and you can just drag it down to the bottom, and now it's at the bottom. I'm just going to change this, and I'm just going to put thank you. And you could type whatever you want. I just put I'm glad software apps is over. Okay, and there's my last slide on here. So I have my 3 slides. You can put another icon, some kind of office icon up here if you want. I'm not going to do that now, but I have my Word, I have my Excel, and I have my PowerPoint, and that's pretty much my presentation. So if I want to preview that, I can go to slideshow and do from beginning, and I'm hitting my space bar, and there's my presentation. You can see everything comes up at once, and I could hit escape to get out. Now the one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw in some animations and transitions, and first of all, do this in restrain yourself from doing too much of this, because too much of this gets annoying. So I'm going to highlight all my slides. I'm going to highlight my first one and then hold shift, click on the end, and I'm going to throw in transitions. The transitions are from slide to slide. I'll go to my transition tab, and I'm just going to go to fade, and that will just make them fade from slide to slide. So that's a transition. So if I went back to slideshow from beginning, you can see they just kind of fade in now. They just transition from slide to slide. You don't have to use wipes or any kind of anything really distracting. Just be very subtle about it. And now I'm going to hit escape to get out. Okay, after doing my transitions, I'm also going to throw in some animations. Animations happen within a slide, and I'll do it for this first slide here. And what I'm going to do is have each bullet point appear one at a time. This main line can come up here, but I'm going to highlight this first line here, just highlight the first bullet point, and I'm going to go to animations, and I'll just do maybe I'll do a fly-in. Say if you hover over them, they'll kind of preview, but they can be a little annoying. So I'm just going to do appear for right now, or maybe a fade. I'll do a fade. Now there's my first one. You can see it gets a little number 1 here. That's the first thing that's going to fade in. The second one is going to be this one. So I'll just go to highlight that and go to fade, and you should see a number 2 show up here. And here's my third one. And actually I'm going to highlight the bullet point and all these things, so the whole thing comes in at once. Unless you wanted to do them one at a time, or you could do this group of numbers second. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do how to create styles, and I'll do, I think I was doing a fade in. That's number 3. And then for these last 4, I'll highlight this whole paragraph all at once, and I'll do a fade. So they'll come in like that. And obviously I could go and do that same thing. There's all my numbers there. Now if I had to take anything away, I could always highlight and hit none and delete it. There's also areas where you can adjust what happens first and second. But for now, if you have any problems, just delete it and just put it back. So there's my 1, 2, 3, and then 4. All these come at 4 at the same time. So if I preview this again, there's my first slide. Second one, you can see the first line comes in first, then first bullet, second bullet, third bullet, and then there's all 4 come at once. So that's animation, and you could do that on all your slides that have bullet points. And the very last thing I'm going to do is just save my theme, which you can do. We edited the master at the beginning, and first of all, if I go to view slide master, remember at any point you can go and edit this. So if you don't like the way your layout is, you can always change something. You know, just for example, if I went on here to second level and I went to my home tab and I just want to change my bullet color, you could go up here to bullets, go down to bullets and numbering, and change the color, and I'll just make it like a blue color right now. Maybe the green's a little too much, so I'll just make it blue. Now when I do that and I go back to slide master and I close my master view, actually all my bullets will update. They're kind of like styles. So working on the slide master is kind of like working in styles for your PowerPoint. So if you do this a lot, it'll help things. So now all my slides now have the blue bullets on here, so I don't have to go to, if you had a 20 slide presentation, you don't want to have to do that on every slide. If you want to change your bullets, you do it on the slide master. So it is a time saver if you happen to use PowerPoint. So anyway, the last thing here, if I like the way I have this formatted and I may want to use it again, you could go to design and then go to the more tab, and at the very bottom, this is what I'm working in right now, this presentation. So if I go down here and go save current theme, at the very bottom, I could give it a name, and I'll just call it, waveform Homa with my last name or something. Just so I know that that's a custom. When I hit save, it'll actually show up here as a custom theme. There's another one that I did. But here's a custom theme now for Waveform HomeWid that I could use again. That'll have that same bulleting structure. The type will be the same, and I could use that whenever I want. So that's really it. That's it for this assignment. I'll put instructions up there for you to follow, or most of them, but hopefully this video will help you out a little bit. And then when you're done, you could just send me this PowerPoint presentation.